Hey guys, we are here in the Dye Studios. I'm your semi-host, Nick Slowiak, joined with
Chris Williamson with Dye.
And we're here to talk to you about I4 and I5 lenses. And my, do we have a lot of them.
We have 16 different lenses. The I4, I5 lenses are a thermal-based lens, meaning that there are two layers on the lens. There's the outer lens that protects your eyes, and then there is an inner lens that keeps the goggles from fogging or is a fog-resistant layer. There's a lot of technology in that inner lens, but we'll break down some of the colors in this video, run through the fact that both I4 and I5 lenses are cross-compatible. So if you have an I4 goggle system or an I5, all these lenses here are available to you to choose from.
My favorite ones that have come out recently are the Dye Sphere logos on the lenses, and those are up here. What's the deal with those?
It's a really cool cosmetic treatment. So it's a sphere that's basically masked onto the lens. So there's a really cool process that the mirror lenses go through, and we have perfected that masking process. We were the first company in paintball to bring that tech into paintball. So it's something that we're proud of. The scrap rate is high on them, and they are slightly more expensive due to that. But if you get one of those lenses, they're really cool. There is a slight distortion where the sphere is. It's just part of looking cool, baby.
That's right, you gotta pay the tax man on that one.
Yeah.
So moving on from those, which are right up front, let's get into these bad boys right here. What do we call these?
So we have 4 different solid color lenses. So basically lenses that don't feature a tint. One of the things that I personally like about non-mirrored lenses is you don't see scratches or imperfections in them as easily as you would any of the mirrored lenses. If we start in the middle, the HD lens, or high definition lens as we like to call it, was a lens technology that was derived from the automotive sports and motorsports industry. It's a really cool lens that brings up the lowlights and brings down the highlights, so it kind of soothes the eye on a really bright sunny day or on a really cloudy dark day. It also helps emphasize some of those colors. It has a very good balance. So a lot of people, when they put them on, they say, oh man, my eyes are relaxed. And you don't take it off and get that shock of the lens that we'll lead into next, which is the yellow. So the yellow is a lens color that was derived from the shooting sports industry because people wanted to create a high vis or a highlight to what they were looking at. It's a really cool lens for low light conditions. It definitely is bright.
Yeah, I can speak to that playing indoor paintball most of my life.
It is a cool lens, but it's definitely something on a bright day. It definitely can be over the top, but it definitely has its purpose. Your all-around go-to is gonna be a clear lens. So that's a lens that all conditions, no matter what you do, we obviously have clear lenses in our regular eyes as they were. So the clear doesn't really need a lot of explanation other than it's an optically correct lens, just like all of our lenses are, and it is clear. Last but not least, on the solid color lenses, you have smoke. Smoke obviously is what you're out on a sunny day and you're wearing sunglasses, so that's a smoke lens. One thing to note is on all of our lenses, regardless of what color they are, the inner lens is thermal formed. So obviously we have a dual curvature to our lens. So not only is the lens bending to the outside, but it also bends on the sphere, much like our eyes.
Yep.
So it's not simply done just because we are wanting to look cool. Our eyes are a sphere, and what we tried to do with that lens technology is make sure that we were following the curvature of the eye. If you do that and you put a flat piece of plastic on the inner lens, you'll get visual distortion because you're looking through a curve and a flat sheet. So what we do is we form that inner lens to the curvature of the outer lens so that you get as minimal of a distortion as possible. We take a lot of pride in making sure that, that inner lens and the outer lens stay together for a long period of time. One high recommendation for any customer with any of our goggles, don't leave your goggles in your car during the summertime. Being that they're formed, obviously if you hyperheat them, if you get them above 120 degrees, plastic wants to return back to its natural shape of flat. So unfortunately, warranties don't cover you or your dog sitting in a car at 150 degrees.
Yeah, and that goes with just about any paintball products. Yeah. Don't leave your stuff in your car in the summer. Bring it inside your house. Don't leave it in your car where it heats up to super extreme temperatures. That will void all warranty.
Yeah, so while we're talking about that, our recommendation is not to use any chemical products. So no Windex, no alcohol, anything to clean your lenses. We just recommend a soft sponge and a microfiber cloth and water. So that'd be my tip for you guys out there.
Listen to Chris's tips. Chris, I noticed there's a protective film on the inside of these lenses.
Yeah, so some of our older i4 and i5 lenses did not have this beautiful little blue pull tab, so you would have to kind of pick out the corner of it, peel it off. We've definitely
really good at that.
We've definitely had customers call us and say, man, I looked through my goggles and I thought they were gonna be way clearer. And then we asked them to send a photo and we're like, yeah, there's a piece of plastic on the inside that needs to be carefully peeled off. One thing to note is as you're peeling this off, just peel from the tab itself. Do not peel the plastic inner thermal layer off because it will void the warranty on the lens. Another thing to get into when we're talking about warranty is obviously lenses are meant to be replaced, hence why they're called replacement lenses. So if you take a direct impact or if you're just not quite sure if your lens is safe, replace it.
Yeah, don't even question it.
We only get 2 eyes. There's no ways to, obviously replace eyes at this point. Man, you'd be surprised on what we see, whether it's an airsoft player or a paintball player, where they're just, up on the cheek well, or there's a gouge in the lens, and it's like, would you drive a car with that scratch in the lens, in the glass? No. So just be safe. So beyond that, we're gonna jump into mirrors. We're gonna get into our smoke-based lenses that have a gold, a chrome, a red mirror, or a blue mirror. Those mirror tints on those lenses are purely cosmetic. So whether you're trying to match your gear, if you're just simply a guy that likes an offsetting color to what your gear is, these 4 lenses over here are those, red, gold, smoke, or a greenish blue mirror. As we jump into the middle, you have your smoke Northern Lights, which is also a smoke-based mirror. Has a little bit of a bluer hue to the base color on the lens. And it's cool because it has a greenish bluish mirror to it. So it comes in some of our goggles. It's a pretty cool color lens. One of my favorites.
Thanks.
All right, so as we move left on the table, you're right, out there in paintball land, we have the Faded Bronze Sunrise. The Faded Bronze Sunrise is a cool lens because what it does is it about halfway through the lens, or on the upper third of the lens, it's an HD base lens, so you'll look at it and you'll see that gold hue down at the nose base of it, but it smoke fades up top. And then what it allows us to do is get this really cool solid gold on the outer lens. Probably one of my favorite all condition lenses. In the morning, it's, super dark. You kind of get that hue where you can kind of like tilt your nose up a little bit, and as it gets lighter during the day, obviously that smoke kind of takes over. The last 3 lenses that we're gonna cover are our latest release lenses. These lenses are derivatives of lenses that were created for the snow industry. In that, there's a lot of technology, obviously, because you're in highlight conditions, white base,
yeah.
like you can get a lot of reflection. So these lenses, not only do they look cool, allow us to do some really cool tint colors because the base color of the lens also affects the mirror coating that goes on the outside of it. On this particular lens, we were looking for a reddish or a maroonish gold tint. And to get that, the base color of this lens is kind of like the HD or the Faded Bronze Sunrise, in which it cuts down on glare, but it has a more soothing tint to it. If you go to the Bolé line of lenses, they were kind of the pioneer in aftermarket ski lenses. And some of these lenses here were derived from some of their best sellers. As we move down, you've got the Chameleon. The Chameleon was created because we wanted this like really cool chameleon color. So it's got like a reddish hue tint
like
to
pink.
it.
I like it.
Yeah. Pretty trick. All right, so Nick, last but not least, what we have here is the Prismatic color. So it also, again, has that like reddish maroon hue, but it's basically a darker version of HD. On those brighter days, if you still really like the HD, you can obviously get into the Prismatic. Got a really cool name to it too. But yeah, that's the rundown on the i4, i5 lenses. Some really cool technology in these. All these lenses meet or exceed the ASTM standard for safety. Something that we value very highly is making sure that all of our goggles are continuously tested on a regular basis. So all of our lenses are tested, all of our goggles are tested, and we have an excellent track record for that. So for more information on this, make sure to listen to Nick, shop at dyepaintball.com, or check out your local authorized dye dealer, and we'll see you out on the field.
Choose dye.